It is that time of month. I love making these videos. December Monster Bass unboxing. I'm going to talk about each lure in here. I'll kind of tell you exactly which rod, reel, etc. type of line I would throw with them. And it's going to be one of those months because it's December, in the end of December, but because it's December, we're going to give it away. So stay tuned for that. I'll tell you how to win it. Let's roll.
Oh. It's not a three. It's monster of a fish. Good fish right there.
Welcome back to the channel. This is Fish and Lone Star. My name is Jeremy, and we're doing a December Monster Bass Regional Pro unboxing. This is for the South region. And I first need to apologize. I seem like I've been doing these videos a little bit later in the month. I need to start doing them earlier in the month. But quite honestly, I've been really busy in December. As you guys can imagine, it's a very busy month. So I'm just now getting to it. Forgive me. I'm going to make up for it, though, by giving you this box. And I've got a couple of mystery lures sitting right over here. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but they're going to be worth it. I'm going to throw them in here as well. So it's going to make this giveaway even sweeter. But let's talk about what came in this month's Monster Bass Regional Pro box. If you're unfamiliar with Monster Bass, it is a subscription box service. What sets it apart from others is that the lures that come in here are hand-picked. They're region-specific. So if you're in Texas or you're in Minnesota, I don't always say Minnesota, or Michigan, we'll go with that, or you're on the East Coast or the West Coast or in the South, you're not getting the same boxes as everyone else and the same baits as everyone else. They're specific to each region, which makes it specific and unique to you. And a lot of times they're baits that sometimes they're big brand names that you've heard of, like that won't be in this month's box. Sometimes they're smaller companies that you haven't heard of, and several of those have been now some of my favorites. In fact, half of them are on the 9 or 10 rods on my boat right now. So I've really come to kind of like some of the smaller companies. The bigger stuff I already know about. The smaller stuff I've gotten introduced to because of Monster Bass, and they're pretty darn awesome. So let's dive into this month's box. First and foremost, I'm going to get this one out and show you. I'm not going to unbag it, but it is a rod sleeve. There's a Monster Bass logo and kind of a Monster Bass tag here at the end. Actually, I will show you really quickly. All right, so it's a nice black and green. You've got the Monster Bass logo on this end, and then down here at this end, you've got a ring in case you wanted to hang this to store it, and a nice little Monster Bass logo on the tag here as well. Pretty darn sweet. Looks like it'll fit a standard rod anywhere between 7 foot and probably 7'3" or 6'8", somewhere in there. Nice little rod sleeve for you. These usually go for anywhere between $5 or $6 all the way up to $8 or $9 or more. So pretty awesome that Monster Bass threw one of these in. Y'all drop a comment below. Let me know if you like the rod sleeves or not. I have all of my rods, even in my rod locker, all covered by Rod Glove. So the Rod Glove is who I use. But I will tell you, these are extremely beneficial to store and keep all your rods safe and secure. All right, next up, I'm going to jump straight to one of the heavy hitters, and that is the Thunder Cricket by Strike King. This is a green pumpkin color. Some people got the mouse color. Some people got maybe like a fire crawl. I forget what that red color is called. There's several colors that went out. This one's green pumpkin. I like green pumpkin. It's a very universal color. You can mix up the trailers as well. I always throw the Egg Zone Swammer as the trailer on my Thunder Cricket. If you're unfamiliar with this lure or how to rig it, I'll leave a link below of a video I did on the Monster Bass channel talking all about this lure. How to rig it, what rod, what reel, what line, what trailers, things not to do as well. So click in the description, there'll be a video there. It's on the Monster Bass channel, all about the Thunder Cricket. But this one's awesome, and these are at least anywhere between, on average, $14 at retail. So pretty darn awesome that Monster Bass included this. I love the Thunder Cricket. All right, you guys have probably seen on the channel, or if you follow me on Instagram, etc., a lot of videos showing crankbaits because December, this time of year, is a great time to be throwing a crankbait. So Monster Bass has included 2 crankbaits here. The first one is by Castaic. All right, now I know Castaic very well because they are based in Texas, actually here in Dallas, in McKinney, Texas, just right down the street from where I live. But this is the CC6. What I really like about this bait is it is a smaller profile. All right, it's probably going to be a medium diving. I'm going to guess between 6 to 8 feet diving. Let's see what it says on the back here. 4 to 6 foot. So it's a 3/8 ounce, 4 to 6 foot diving crankbait. I like the smaller size though because bass are eating a lot of smaller bait fish. I'm going to do probably a video or two after this talking about a lot of my favorite lures for 2021 that are new to me. A lot of them are Castaic lures. I will tell you, this company's put out a lot of great stuff. Again, half of it is currently tied on right now on my boat. But this little crankbait should do really well with the small profile. And then another company that is somewhat smaller, but they're making a big name for themselves, is Bait Lab. All right, this is a good little color here, and this is going to be against in that kind of 3 to 5 foot diving range, but a nice little natural color. Little crankbait here. I was going to say square bill, but it's not quite squared off, but it's going to be a nice, I imagine that bill's going to give it kind of a tight little wobble there, but a good little natural profile for some kind of shallow to mid depth cranking. Okay, now, so for crankbaits, what I like to throw mine on is a medium power, moderate action rod, right? Now this one's a 7.4 medium heavy, but it's a glass rod, so it's gonna have a lot of bend to it. If you have a fiberglass rod, throw your cranks on a fiberglass rod. If you have a composite rod or a carbon fiber rod, which is your standard blank material, throw it again on a medium power, moderate action. It's gonna allow you to hook into the fish better since you're throwing smaller treble bait, smaller treble hooks on your baits. Trust me on that, you're gonna want a medium moderate action rod, or in this particular case, a medium heavy if you're throwing a glass rod. The reel, you wanna go slower. This one's actually a 7.5 to 1, and it's probably too fast, right? This is the Lose KVD. I love the reel, it's super smooth. I just have to remind myself always when I'm cranking to slow down on my handle turns or my reel turns. So you want maybe like a 6.8 to 1 or even slower if you can, because you want to reel your crankbait pretty slow this time of year. You can still speed up and burn it. I like to kind of slow roll it, bounce it off of rocks, timbers, lay down, stuff like that. You want to vary your retrieve sometimes though. Sometimes I like it fast, sometimes I like it slow, but normally, for the most part, a slower gear ratio is what you want for crankbait fishing. And I'm also normally using 12 to 14 pound fluorocarbon. 14 pounds usually my go-to. For a lipless, I will sometimes step up to like a 15 to 17 pound. I don't really know why, that's just kind of how I have them rigged on my boat, but usually 14 pound fluorocarbon will get it done on your treble baits or your treble hooks. I call them treble baits just because they have treble hooks. But next one, the Incision 69 by MonsterBass. I'm gonna take this one out of the packaging. This is a lipless crank that MonsterBass just came out with. So kind of a featured bait in this box. And again, I did a whole video on this particular lure over on the MonsterBass channel. I will link it below, but it's got a really nice kind of subtle knot to it. It's a pretty slender profile compared to most lipless cranks. What that's gonna allow for is a very tight wobble and a very tight action. Again, I would throw this on a medium moderate rod, somewhere in that 7 foot to 7.2, 7.3 range, somewhere in there. I would throw it again on that 14 pound fluorocarbon. Reel speed doesn't matter a lot. For these, I normally like to just straight retrieve them, or I will do the yo-yo where you lift and then reel in your slack as it falls, lift, reel in your slack as it falls. So you're kind of just doing this in the water column. I've caught some really good fish with the yo-yo technique. But again, go click the link below in the description. That video will be over on the MonsterBass channel of the Incision 69 that I did. You can see all the details there. This one is by Still Shad, and it's a topwater popper. Now, you're probably thinking it's December, the water is getting cold. Depending on where you're at in the country, you may be iced over. I feel very sorry for you if that's the case. But I will tell you, don't put away your topwater lures just yet. Early morning, later in the evening, or sometimes just bass chasing bait fish, you can get a topwater bite. In fact, earlier this month, it was just a few weeks back, I caught several fish on not only a topwater frog, but also a topwater popper. So make sure you still keep this on hand, keep it tied on. I would throw braid, like a 30-pound braid on topwater or monofilament, because both of those lines float, all right? And again, I would still throw it on somewhere in that medium to medium heavy and a moderate action rod, because again, you have treble hooks that you're dealing with. This is a really cool topwater popper. I'm digging this paint scheme. It's really awesome. But this is just a small popper, green color, a little bit of chartreuse. Should really draw fish up for that bite. Don't sleep on topwater poppers right now. They're still catching fish. All right, and last one, I think I can take this out of the package and then just reseal it for you, but this is the Smallie Smasher. And all right, admittedly, I don't fish finesse lures, but this is a really cool lure. I'll hold up to here. Really cool plastic. I really like the color. This tail's pretty unique on it as well. And I really like this color. This is Chick Magnet is the color. So it's a little bit of like a gold on one side and like a silver on the other. And it's got this kind of ribbed body in the middle. Big Bite Baits did a really good job on these. I've never fished with them before, but just looking at the design, knowing that this is meant to be fished on a drop shot. For those of you that like drop shot, I know the name says Smallie Smasher, but I can assure you a largemouth bass will also eat this. It's a great time of year to be throwing a drop shot. I try to convince myself to do it. I just don't have the patience for it. Although I do now at least have a spinning rod and reel combo in my rod locker. All right, so it went from the wall to my boat. So we're getting closer to throwing the drop shot on this channel. I'm not there yet. I know it catches a ton of fish. There's nothing against a drop shot. I just personally don't like the technique. And since I get out and fish for fun and I want to have fun doing it and it's not something I like, then I'm not going to do it. But I know I probably should because they do catch fish, and the Smallie Smasher and that Chick Magnet color is a really great option. MonsterBass did a good job choosing that one for this month. It's really, really good choice. All right, guys, that is it for all the baits in this month's box. I'm gonna throw in 2 more surprises for you. So that's gonna give you a total of 9 lures. The value, I don't know, but I can promise you it's well worth it if you go subscribe to MonsterBass. But the lures are awesome. I love getting new lures to kind of challenge me to try something different, step out of my comfort zone, even though I'm not there yet on the drop shot. I'll get there. Sometime I'll get there, I promise. But I'm going to seal this box up. Actually, I'm going to put 2 more lures in it, and then I'm going to seal this box up. And I will ship it to the person that tells me if they went and watched the last video or not. The last video was about Texas rigs. I showed you some of my favorite Texas rigs. Just comment like what 1 or 2 of the lures were. One of 2 of the lures in the last video about Texas rigs, and you'll be entered for the giveaway. I'll pick a comment in the next video to come, so stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. Hit the like button as well, but leave me a comment. Let me know which 1 of 2 lures I shared in my Texas rig video in the last one. See if you're paying attention. And then stay tuned for the next video while I announce the winner. We'll pick a random person from the comments, and we'll get this December box out to you. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for more. We've got some great content coming. A couple of videos. One's going to be pretty spicy. One's probably going to upset some people. They may get their feelings hurt because I'm going to talk about something that's happening in the fishing industry that I don't believe is a good thing. We're going to talk about it. I'll announce the winner in that video. Stay tuned, guys. If somebody told Jake I love you, and so do I. Peace out.